Here are my favorite jump spots and lines of sight on Gavutu. You know what to do, so let's hop right in. So starting off on the radio side, I'm going to show you a few great ways to take out anyone on top third boat. The first is if you hop on this rock back here. If they're standing up in the top tower, you'll be able to pick them off fairly easily. Next is if these walls in top green are broken. You'll get a clear line of sight on them from here, and they're likely not looking this far back. Moving on, if you're coming through the cages rather than challenging them out here, you can back up a bit and see right through the cages. As you can see, your bullets go right through it, and I'm not even running FMJ. Now, while we're in cages, if you're guarding P5 from the front, you can actually shoot through this side as well onto anyone heading out of their spawn. Then heading into top green, if this window is open, you can hop onto this crate and use the shelves as a heady to take out anyone who's up there. Now, another line of sight that I like to use up here, especially on defense and control, is if you come up to this window right here. You have a clear view on anyone coming down your ring steps. You can also use this for P1 as most people stand right in that area and pick off anyone who's trying to flank on your steps. The last spot in top green is if you open this window and stand on the windowsill. You can see right through the land bridge, and it's a great way to get an opening pick on control. Now, heading over to P5, there's a little edge on the other side of this wood that you can actually hide behind. It's especially useful if you're alone and you're trying to soak time because you can actually capture the point from here. You can also use this side and look right into cages and top green. Just keep in mind that this wood does break, but the other side still has the barrels as cover. Heading over to oil, if you watch the CDL, you've likely seen this heady fairly frequently. It's a great sightline to watch across the boat. Moving on to top boat, if you watch Lunchtime, and shout out to him, you've likely seen him use this spot. Although just keep in mind that it is fairly risky and it does take some practice, as you can see here. But from here, you have a good view on anyone crossing through land bridge. Then heading over to top third, you obviously know you can get up here, but what some people don't realize is that you can actually hop on these side walls and see right into ring. Or better yet, you can hop onto the turret, which gives you an even better view. This is of course highly situational because you are very exposed, but it's useful for P1. Now the next spots are these giant doors that open to mid tank. This is a great area to sit because if your team is trying to capture or hold the bottom boat objectives, most opponents will try to clear it from the mid tank and they will not expect you to pick them off as they approach from here. You can also use this side as well and you have a great vantage point. Then heading into bottom boat, one of my favorite ways to hold this hill is from the top of this tank, specifically if opponents are spawning on the land bridge side. And that's because you can use this as a heady for anyone coming in through that hole, mid tank, or even better, you can literally pick them off as they're trying to jump onto the boat from land bridge. Now you can use it against opponents spawning on the green side as well, but you're going to want to be looking straight into cages the whole time because you can get picked off fairly easily from there. That being said, you can strafe around to the side of the tank and you have a great heady on the cages. Just make sure your teammates are covering your mid tank and the top boat. Also, not a lot of people know this, but you can go prone behind the tank and see through to cages as well. Your bullets do go through this little gap. It is a bit hard to see, but they're likely not going to be able to shoot back at you if you can get your shots off. Heading to land bridge, you can actually hop onto these structures and peek right into top green. Most people aren't really looking up here and you might take them by surprise. Furthermore, you can hop onto this door and use the structure as a heady. Gives you a good view of top green and anyone coming in from the oil side. Moving on to P4, if you hop on this rock, you have a great heady onto top boat, top green window, and if you strafe to the left, you can actually see outer ring from here. They are likely not going to expect this and it's a great little vantage point. Speaking of ring, if you are getting spawn trapped by people in ring, you have a clear view on them from this truck and you can use this giant rock as a heady. Now heading up the beach, you likely already know this because it was a day one spot, but you can actually hop up onto this palm tree and go all the way to the top. Now because this spot was well known in the beginning, people might not expect it this late into the game's life cycle. You can use it to look over P1 as well as across the P3 and the B point in control. Now heading over to ring, if you're approaching from this side, rather than hitting the steps straight away where you'll know you'll get shot by anyone in this corner, hop onto this tank and use it as a heady to clear anyone on that side. Now moving to the top of ring, you can actually hop onto these green boxes here and see right over into most of the beach. I have gotten kills from here, although it is somewhat difficult, it is still great for gaining information. You can also do the same on this green box right here. You can either use the red barrels if they're still intact, or you can hop from the ring wall right onto it. From here you have a clear view on the ramp on this side as well as most of that spawn. Another great spot on here is if you hop onto the outer wall and use this gap as cover to look over the cross to beach. A lot of times you have someone posted up on that back rock and it's a great way to take them out. Just be aware that you are exposed to anyone top green or from the steps. Staying on this wall, you can actually see into top boat from here as well. This can also be used as an off angle on anyone coming up on the steps on that side, as you'll see them before they anticipate to see you. I prefer, however, using this wall as a heady when guarding those steps. Now dropping down into beach, these rocks are a pain to climb when you're trying to get out a ring, but if you follow this path, you can actually sprint right up without needing to jump or use a ramp. Now on the beach, some of these pillars can actually be used as head glitches, and I can't tell you how many times they've saved my life. Bullets don't generally go through them, so if I'm trying to make my way up beach, I'll usually just leapfrog from one pillar to the next. This one in particular is is great to pick off people on top ring as they approach this objective area. Now heading all the way to the back behind green and radio, if you hop onto this truck over here, this is a great place to pick off anyone trying to flank in hardpoint, but especially on defense and control, as most people try to wrap through your spawn to get to the hill. But that's it for Gavutu. I wanted to give a shout out to Exclusive Ace, Hens, and Lunchtime, as I saw some of the spots in the recent map videos on their channels. They're all great creators, so I linked their channels below. Before you guys go, I wanted to thank you for joining me on this journey of posting every day for 30 days. I know I haven't posted much for Vanguard, and I hope this made up for that. But honestly, although it was a lot of work, your comments and the feedback on the channel have really been keeping me going. My goal with this 30-day blitz was to boost the channel in preparation for Modern Warfare 2, which I'm very excited for. I hope you guys are too. So if you enjoy the content, it would mean the world to me if you would share it with anyone you know that might enjoy it as well. But as always, you know what to do. My name is Drew, this was Sabaham. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Not tomorrow, next week.
Hey, I want to be famous.